Yan yung paulit-ulit nilang ginagamit eh, yung kesyo tinuturuan daw ni ang pangalan nito ni Senator Marcoleta, yung ano. Kasi nga meron kang affidavit na sinagmit. Sundan mo 'yun. 'Di ba? It's either don't read it, you talk. Talagang ano, or when you start reading your affidavit, you have to read the affidavit. Part yan, alam mo kung bakit nagiging ganyan si Senator Marcoleta. Kasi ganyan sa korte, hindi ka pa pwedeng lumabas doon sa affidavit mo. Kaya kailangan basahin mo. 'Di ba? Basahin mo ng ano, ng buong buo. Then, magtatanong yung mga senators. According to your affidavit, ganito, ganito, ganito. Bakit ganyan? O doon yun na i-cross-examine. Hindi naman pinipigilan ni Marcoleta yung mga senador na i-cross-examine. Ito masama. Yung ginawa ni Lacson. Ano yung ginagawa ni Lacson? Siya ang sumasagot doon sa dalawang witness niya na nakatakip ang muka. Di ba? Na nakatakip ang muka, tapos kesyo ganito ganire. Di ba? Naalala nyo nun? Dito ba, may nakita ba kayo na tinanong si Gutesa? Tapos ang sumagot si Marcoleta? Wala. Yung pagbabasa ng affidavit, normal yun na dapat basahin mo yung affidavit mo. Eh nakakaligtaan niya siguro dahil natataranta siya o kaya naman siya ay, alam mo yun, minsan ganun din ako pag nagbabasa, minsan nakakaligtaan ko eh. Lalo na pag medyo malabo na mata. Di ba? So anong walang masama doon na paulit-ulit na nire-rewind ng mga media na para bagang ang dating, tinuruan. Hindi tinuruan yun. Ganun lang talaga. Pagdating naman sana, ba't din nila punahin? Never pinuna ng media to. Tandaan ninyo, never pinuna ng media yung kay Lacson. Na pag tinatanong ni Marcoleta, ang sumasagot si Lacson doon sa witness. Yung sagot ni ng kampo nila Depensor sa pamamagitan ni Topacio.
Have you spoken to your client, Mike Defensor?
Well, not lately, but with respect to the present issue, I would say that this came as no surprise.
Yun.
Because as early as November 19 of last year, we had already gotten information that Gutesa, who suddenly disappeared after his bombastic testimony before the Blue Ribbon Committee, was being forced or had been already forced to recant his testimony.
Pero sir, our problem...
Maalala niyo yan, November pa yan. Naalala niyo, November pa yan, nagkano na ng nalaman na at ilang beses na rin nabulgar at naikwento ni Mike Defensor yan na meron siyang video at lumabas na nga rin yung video na kung saan sinasabi niya na tinakot talaga yung pamilya. Hindi dahil sa pera kaya nag-recant etong si Gutesa. At nilabas yan ni Defensor recently lang nung nagkaroon ng press con. Pinakita niya yan. Inilabas yan. Kaya nga nagtataka ako, yung mga media, lalo na yung meron ako napanood na na nag-comment na media na yung tatlong bugok doon. Sa loob-loob ko, kinakampihan nyo talaga si Romualdez? Don't tell me until now you don't realize na si Romualdez ang may kagagawa nitong lahat ng to. Kasama yung kanyang pinsan na si Marcos. Are you playing dumb o talagang nabayaran lang kayo? Hindi kasi parang ang dating sa kanila, talagang dinidiscredit nila ng todo-todo si Marcoleta. Alam ko galit kayo kay Marcoleta kasi si Marcoleta, diretsuhan magsalita yan sa media. Hindi nyo naman nilalabas eh. Ganyan si Marcoleta eh. Kaya itong mga media, galit na galit kay Marcoleta. Pero not naman to the point na kinakampihan nyo na etong si Romualdez. At parang nagpapaniwala talaga kayo na hindi totoo yung sinabi ni Gutesa. Ewan ko kung tanga ba kayo o talagang bayaran lang kayo talaga. O tuloy natin to.
Here is that it's a he said, she said situation. On one hand, Gutesa saying na he was, what was the word he used? He was practically forced out of fear and anxiety to sign an affidavit prepared daw by Senator Marcoleta. On the other hand, of course, you're saying now that your client is a victim of somebody who's forced to recant.
In which case, in order to find out which version is more credible, then we would have to look at the surrounding circumstances. And these are, number one, that Gutesa was suddenly incommunicado after his BRC testimony. Number two, we have publicly declared that the family of Gutesa, right after his testimony, was being harassed and intimidated by certain persons. Number three, we can see that there is a pattern on the part of the administration to intimidate and harass whistleblowers by imprisoning Senator Marcoleta and former Representative Mike Defensor, which has the effect of demoralizing the whistleblowers. So, under the circumstances and considering that there is a principle of law that he who is the author of an act stands to benefit from that act, is presumed to be the author of that act, then we can clearly presume that it is the people who are being pointed to as recipients of billions of pesos in maleta money who may be behind the pressure on the part of Sergeant Gutesa to recant.
Yes, sir. But wouldn't your client be in any sort of legal trouble or legal issues with respect to Gutesa's claim that he was forced or pressured by your client into signing an affidavit that he now claims is untrue and inaccurate?
That is exactly what the government wants to happen. This has been the pattern, as I have said. You can see that aside from the plunder case, which is totally ludicrous to begin with, considering that it involves no public funds and it is a campaign contribution, there are also cases for libel, cyber libel, even human trafficking against Mike Defensor. And of course, Gutesa would also be in legal trouble for saying one thing under oath one day and saying another thing under oath the next day. So it all boils down to what does Gutesa have to gain? What does Mr. Romualdez have to gain from the recantation? And what do Senator Marcoleta and Representative Defensor have to gain except for the national interest in exposing an anomaly or corruption in government?
Yes, sir. Well, I understand, sir. Pero on the other hand, the plunder case against Mike Defensor and Senator Marcoleta, some would say that that's an entirely different issue altogether. And to your point po, that it involves no public funds, the plunder law provides for the violation of plunder with public funds and with private funds as well.
Oh, I will not argue the point. Because it is sub judice. All that I'm saying is that it is also acceptable in law that there can be established a pattern of certain acts. And we can see that there is already a pattern on the part of the administration to harass its critics.
Yan. Alam mo, ito malinaw eh. Kasi di ba sinasabi nga ni Ed Lingao na merong sinabi yung isa, meron ka rin sinabi. Paano kami ngayon maniniwala? Iyon sinasabi ngayon ni Topacio, tingnan nyo na lang yung circumstantial evidence. Kasi remember, circumstantial evidence is part of the evidence. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Yung mga surroundings na nangyayari. I mean, obvious pa ba? I mean, hindi pa ba obvious? Walang nakukulong na kaalyado. At kunwari, yung hindi kaalyado, tatakutin lang, tas lilipat na, wala na. Burado na yung kaso. Katulad ni Joel Judas Villanueva. Plunder yan. Ano na nangyari? Porket lumipat lang siya, makikita mo na talagang wala na, burado na. So, hindi pa ba obvious? I mean, stupid na lang ang magsasabi that the justice na nangyayari sa Pilipinas is for everyone. No. Anyone na mag-criticize, mabilis pa sa alas 5, siguradong makukulong o makakasuhan. Imagine niyo nung dating kaalyado nila si Loren Legarda, walang kaano-ano. Nung hindi na nila kaalyado, naglabasan na yung kaso. Every time, kaya natatakot yung mga tao ngayon, mga public official or mga politicians na kumontra sa gobyerno kasi talaga namang kawawa ka. Kawawa kapag kumontra ka sa gobyernong ito. Pattern na po yan. Yan yung circumstantial evidence. Kaya nga, yung pananakot, kaya nagre-recant eh. Diba? Dahil nga sa pananakot, yan ay kitang-kita natin dun sa 4 na ex-Marines at itong kay Gutesa. Alam mo, kawawa si Gutesa dito sa totoo lang eh. Although sabi nung pamilya, may narinig ako through someone na kasi tinatakot talaga daw. Sabi ko, okay, tinatakot, pero sana ako papayag lang ako yung hindi, binabawi ko yung ano. I mean, sana ganun na lang eh. Binabawi ko yung mga sinabi ko. Pero nandamay ka pa ng mga ibang tao na alam mo namang inosente. Idadamay mo pa si Marcoleta, si Defensor, maging si Rowena Guanzon, idadamay mo pa para lang maproteksyonan ng pamilya mo. I mean, it's not ano. Sana nakipag-negotiate ka, sinabi mo na lang, hindi mo na lang idadamay, babawiin mo na lang. 'Di ba? Yung statement mo before. Kasi kawawa naman yung mga inosente. Ligtas ka nga. Tandaan mo, may pamilya rin si Marcoleta. May pamilya rin si Defensor. May pamilya rin si Rowena Guanzon. At may mga reputasyon niyang pinag-iingatan. Tapos masisira lang dahil doon sa imbentong recant mo. Na lumabas naman na yung audio mo na kausap yung asawa mo. Na sinasabi mo tinakot ka, kaya ka nag-recant o nagbawi. I mean, tapos itong mga media, ewan ko, kupal talaga yung mga media. Mas talagang pinaniniwalaan pa nila yung pag-recant nito dahil galit lang sila kay Marcoleta. Di ba? Kaya nakakaano.
Which is very sad because instead of concentrating on people who have been pointed to as having received billions in kickbacks, they are going after the whistleblowers. Remember, Sir Ed, the fact remains that it has been established even by the President in his mahiyahan naman kayo speech that billions have been stolen. Now, who stole them? They could not have vanished out into thin air. So, what the government should be doing is unearthing who have been plundering public funds with respect to the flood control scandal. And instead of putting pressure to bear on the whistleblowers, they should be hearing them out. And so we can see that it is a saddening development in our country and it is a deterrent to future whistleblowers.
But sir, at the very least, was there really a meeting in a Japanese restaurant the day before the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing? We're talking about...
Ako na sasagot. Sinabi na ni Marcoleta yan eh. At saka ni Defensor yan noon eh, na nagkita sila, di ba? Ano ba? Tapos, ewan ko kung sino na naman naglabas sa Senate ha. Meron na namang malisyoso. Kilala ko na yung malisyoso na yun eh. Kilala ko na yun. Yung baklang senador yun eh. Hindi ko na sasabihin kung sino yung baklang senador na yun ha. Yung mahilig mag-intriga dyan, naglabas na naman ng video na kesyo daw si Gutesa pumunta sa opisina ni Marcoleta. Di ba sinundo nga niya sa labas? Kasi nga guess niya. Tapos sasabihin mo, hindi, bakit pumunta sa ano? Ang ina-intrigero talaga tong gunto eh.
September 24, 2025. That is the date that Gutesa claims he met with your client and Senator Marcoleta.
I believe Senator Marcoleta mentioned something about a meeting to that effect. But even if there were, there is nothing wrong. Of course, you cannot expect a lawyer who is a senator at the same time to simply take a witness and put him on the stand before the Senate of the Philippines, no less, without meeting with him and checking out his story. So that is neither here nor there, and it does not prove anything, actually.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sir, I also take note of the new statement made by Gutesa where he says, I never had any direct contact with Speaker Romualdez, nor did I even see him at that address. So I suppose by that, that it implies that he had been to the house of Speaker Romualdez.
Well, that's what he is saying now. But, you know, a person under pressure who is probably under custody whose life is under threat, whose family safety is under threat, will say anything. You have to remember that. But remember, when Gutesa first said the narrative that implicates former Speaker Martin Romualdez, he was under no compulsion, he was under no threat. And with respect to the payment of money, that is ridiculous. There is no such resources available to the opposition. It is the administration has loads of maleta with which to buy, intimidate, and harass witnesses.
No, sir, I was referring to the second part of that sentence where Gutesa says now, or at least admits now, that he appears to have been at the house of Speaker Romualdez before. And I quote, nor did I even see him at that address. So that implies that he had been to the house of Speaker Romualdez.
Well, they say that when you tell a lie, you put elements of truth in it. So that is an admission that he has been to the house. It's just that now he is disclaiming any contact with Speaker Romualdez. Well, we will just have to take those two statements, those two contradictory statements, and see which one is more credible. Because as a general rule, the law frowns upon recantations, especially there is a plethora of decisions from the Supreme Court that says that recantations are not encouraged, nor are they credible. So the
Yon.
Ombudsman will just have to consider that. And I believe the Ombudsman has made a statement that the recantation in no way will put a monkey wrench on the present investigation against Mr. Romualdez.
Pero sir, moving forward, what is your client's plan with regard to Gutesa's recantation?
We have no knowledge of that yet, but suffice it to say that, as I have said, we had expected this, and it was only a matter of time before the recantation came out. And you can fact check me on this, Sir Ed. It was on November 19, 2025, when we publicly stated that we have received reports of harassment, intimidation, and the recantation of Gutesa. So this is not something that was totally unexpected.
Actually, sir, to be honest about it, a lot of people were wondering how Marcoleta and your client appear to have lost track of Gutesa after the Senate Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. Bakit po biglang parang nawala siya sa inyong paningin?
Well, alam niyo po, that also proves na hindi namin minamanipulate o tinatakot o hinahawakan si Gutesa, because otherwise, if this were a conspiracy to use Gutesa against any political personality, sana itinago na namin yun. Hindi na namin pinakawalan. Inilagay na namin sa safe house. O, di ba? The mere fact that we lost track of him means that he was free to go whenever he wanted. Walang
Yon.
compulsion, walang threats, walang intimidation. No pressure
Tama.
was being brought to bear upon him, even during, before, and right after his first BRC testimony.
Yes, sir. I understand your point there. Pero on the other hand naman, it did appear during that hearing that Senator Marcoleta was coaching Gutesa. Kasi we just played the soundbite kanina, Marcoleta telling Gutesa during the Blue Ribbon Committee hearing, stick to the affidavit and just don't go anywhere else outside that affidavit. And
Well,
also the
that is
references.
subject to so many interpretations. It might be that he only wished to abbreviate the proceedings, considering we have to look at the context. If you have seen that particular session of the Blue Ribbon Committee, you could see Ping Lacson straining at the leash and trying to stop Gutesa, or even implying that this was that the testimony of Gutesa was a waste of.
Yan yung paulit-ulit nilang ginagamit yung kesyo tinuturuan daw ni ang pangalan nito ni Senator Marcoleta, yung ano. Kasi nga meron kang affidavit na sinagmit. Sundan mo yun. 'Di ba? It's either don't read it, you talk. Talagang ano. Or when you start reading your affidavit, you have to read the affidavit. Part yan, alam mo kung bakit nagiging ganyan si Senator Marcoleta. Kasi ganyan sa korte, hindi ka pa pwedeng lumabas doon sa affidavit mo. Kaya kailangan basahin mo. 'Di ba? Basahin mo ng buong buo. Then magtatanong yung mga senators. According to your affidavit, ganito. Bakit ganyan? O doon yun na i-cross-examine. Hindi naman pinipigilan ni Marcoleta yung mga senador na i-cross-examine. Ito masama. Yung ginawa ni Lacson. Ano yung ginagawa ni Lacson? Siya ang sumasagot doon sa dalawang witness niya na nakatakip ang muka. Di ba? Na nakatakip ang muka, tapos kesyo ganito ganire. Di ba? Naalala nyo nun? Dito ba, may nakita ba kayo na tinanong si Gutesa? Tapos ang sumagot si Marcoleta? Wala. Yung pagbabasa ng affidavit, normal yun na dapat basahin mo yung affidavit mo. Nakakaligtaan niya siguro dahil natataranta siya o kaya naman siya ay, alam mo yun, minsan ganun din ako pag nagbabasa, minsan nakakaligtaan ko Lalo na pag medyo malabo na mata. Di ba? So walang masama doon na paulit-ulit na nire-rewind ng mga media na para bagang ang dating, tinuruan. Hindi tinuruan yun. Ganun lang talaga. Pagdating naman sana, ba't din nila punahin? Never pinuna ng media to. Tandaan ninyo, never pinuna ng media yung kay Lacson. Na pag tinatanong ni Marcoleta, ang sumasagot si Lacson doon sa witness. Yun ang merong tinatago. Halatang halata. Pero bakit tahimik ang media doon? Alam ko na. Alam ko na. Kasi nga, tropa nila si Lacson. At galit sila kay Marcoleta. Kung sino man ang... Kasi bakit naging ng tropa si Lacson? Kasi nga, si Marcoleta at saka si Lacson laging nagbabangayan yan galit sila kay Marcoleta. 'Di ba? So, kung sino yung kaaway nung kaaway mo, ay kakampi mo na. Totoo, yung, 'di ba? Ganun naman lagi So, kung may kaaway ka, 'di ba? Kuwari, kaaway mo si C. Sabihin, si letrang C ang kaaway mo. Tapos, si letrang B, kaaway din si C. So, gagawin mo, kaibigan mo na si B. Di ba? Ganun yun. Matuloy natin to, Topacio, attorney. Matalino talaga itong ang bata natin,
Should not have been done. So, you should see it in that context, Sir Ed.
Okay. Sir, so moving forward, you do not see any legal action from your client's part as far as Gutierrez is concerned? At least
This
as of now.
happened only, I think, yesterday
Yeah.
or the day before. So this was very recent. And as you know, my client is incarcerated, and it's quite an effort to be able to communicate with him. You have seen how he was treated by the police. He just wanted to speak to the media, and yet he was bodily restrained, causing him physical pain. So, consult with him and get guidance from him as to what our next action will be on this particular matter.
Okay.
Ayun, grabe, no? Ang lupit, ang lupit. Eto pa pag-usapan natin to. Saan na yan? Yung kay Guanzon naman.
Okay, Glenn.
Laila, nasa linya natin si Attorney Rowena Guanzon.
Ay, sa Attorney Rowena Guanzon. Good morning po, Attorney.
Good morning, Ate Laila, Kuya Gen.
Yes, good morning. Mayong aga.
Mayong
Oo,
aga.
aga pa ko bugtaw ni Gutesa.
Gani, ano bang natabo nga...
Kaintindihan na yung dalawa.
Anong natabo kay diri kay Kudesa man?
Oo nga, nag-recount Attorney.
Kuan sa kuno daw is a resurrected man.
Oo.
Talaga naman itong si Gutesa.
Oh.
Nakita ko lang yung statement niya
Oo
Kaya ang
nga,
dami
oo nga.
tumatawag.
Oo.
Sabi niya dun sa statement niya na, di ba bumaligtad na siya?
Yes.
Na hindi daw totoo yung lahat ng affidavit niya at sinabi niya doon sa Blue Ribbon hearing ni Senator Marcoleta.
Mhm.
Sabi niya, pinilit lang daw siya ni Senator Marcoleta at ni former Kong Mike Defensor.
Okay.
Okay.
At sinabi pa niya na may tumawag sa kanya na galing sa opisina ni Senator Marcoleta
Mhm.
at inalok na kung gusto niya akong tawagan si Attorney Guanzon para sa kanyang salaysay o affidavit ay bibigyan siya ng numero.
Mhm.
Kaya pati ako,
Nadamay dito.
parang ibig niya sabihin kasama ako doon sa conspiracy ni na Senator Marcoleta at Mike Defensor na
Okay.
gamitin lang siya laban kay Martin Romualdez.
Ah.
Pero
Nako.
sinabi din niya na hindi naman daw siya nag-contact sa akin. Talagang hindi. Sinungaling na yan. Mga pakialam ko sa kay Gutesa na yan. Layo-layo naman paano kung magiging kliyente yan.
Oo.
Ano
baka,
ako dyan?
baka inisip niya.
Nadamay ako. Kasi alam nila na siyempre friend ako and supporter of Senator Marcoleta. Kaya dinadamay
Yun.
na naman nila ako. Pero may magagalit dyan sa ginawa ni Gutesa, si Ombudsman.
Attorney, itong si Gutesa, after niyang tumistigo doon sa Senate Blue Ribbon Committee, biglang nawala, hindi na siya naging visible. Attorney.
Nagtago siya o pinatago siya.
Mhm.
Sigurado naman, hindi naman ako obvious naman yan. Bakit babaligtad si Gutesa? Nakatestify na siya. Hindi perjury yun.
Oo.
Diba? Kasi nag-testify na siya under oath eh.
Oo nga, oo
Ang
nga.
labit lang niya, walang perjury dahil di naman siya naka-testify. Nag-testify siya doon. Kung pinilit lang siya, dapat, di ba makikita mo naman kung ang behavior ng taong pinipilit.
Aha.
Kaya, sigurado na maleta siya.
Na mali.
Yaw.
Maleta si Gutesa.
Ako po, patay tayo
Okay,
dyan.
pero sa tingin mo rito, attorney, kasi nung una merong yung mismong 18 mare, may 4 na bumaliktad, di ba? Tapos sumunod to si Gutesa. Sa tingin mo, sino yung mga nasa likod dito para itong mga taong ito ay bumaliktad sa kanilang mga unang testimonya? Sabi ko mga under oath to si Gutesa. Sige sabihin, lahat ng mga niya pinagsasabi niya doon ay pawang katotohanan. Pero ngayon, nadiin yung dalawa. Tingin mo, anong klaseng tactic to?
Sino ba ang beneficiary niyan? Yung
Ayun.
pagbaliktad
Ayaw.
ng 4 na yun at ni Gutesa, hindi ba si Martin Romualdez?
Yo,
Ayun.
natumbok
Kung
mo.
sino yung beneficiary niyan, syempre siya yung pagdududahan natin. Siya yung
Yo,
may ano
natumbok
nito,
mo.
na gumalaw nito.
Mhm.
Ngayon, ito problema na yun, yung 4 na yun, at ni Gutesa, dahil nag-announce na ang ombudsman, na pwede silang kasuhan yung 4 na yun, na kasama sa plunder ni
Yun.
Martin Romualdez.
Yan.
Kasi sa plunder naman, pag nag-deliver sila o nag-receive sila, kasabwat sila.
Mhm.
Ayun.
Hindi namin nila na kasabwat sila. So, una nila ang affidavit. Ngayon, kaya nga sabi ko, dapat isama din ng ombudsman si Gutesa doon sa kaso ni Romualdez.
Yun.
Kasi, para malaman talaga ng mga tao sa husgado kung totoo ba itong mga pinagsasabi niya. Kasi, yung ibang kasama niya, sinabi din na kasama sila sa pag-deliver ng mga mali-malitang milyon-milyong piso na kickbackan.
Nako.
Pero paano na yung iba? Kasi kahit mag-withdraw si Gutesa at yung 4, meron pang ilan pa ba yon? 5 minus 18? O di may 13 pa. May 13 pa na nagko-corroborate yung mga testimony nila na nag-deliver sila. Although hindi sila sabay-sabay nag-deliver, pero nagkakaalaman sila na nag-deliver sila na mali-malitang pera kay Martin Romualdez sa bahay niya sa Forbes at utos ni Saldico, yung kanilang boss. So yan ang ngayon yan ang problema ni Gutesa na hindi niya nakita. Dahil ngayon, ombudsman na ang kalaban niya. Hindi si Senator Marcoleta.
Ayun.
Dinadamay lang kami dito kasi alam nila na supporter ako and friend of Senator Marcoleta. Pero kung layo naman ang kwento nitong Gutesa na ito,
Okay.
bakit naman gagawin yung salaysay niya? Sino ba yan?
Okay.
Parang sino ba yan si Gutesa para bigyan ko siya ng panahon ko ba?
Yun.
Tsaka mga ganyang klaseng tao, parang layo naman yan sa akin, di ba? Wala akong access dyan. I mean, I don't want to have anything to do with them, di ba?
Ang binanggit mo kanina, attorney, yung mga nakinabang dito, yung pagbaligtad ng yung 4 na marine at pagbaliktad ngayon ni Gutesa, sabi mo, ang makikinabang dito ay si dating Speaker Martin Romualdez. Pero, doon mismo sa zona ni Pangulong Bongbong Marcos, binanggit niya di ba, na uusad na yung kaso at hinahandang kaso laban sa dating speaker.
Hindi naman niya pinapangalanan. Parang hindi niya masambit yung parang si Darth Vader sa Star Wars. He who cannot be named. Ano ba?
Oo.
May minipit ba mga dila nila na hindi nila masabi ang pangalan niyang pinsan niya? Eh,
Nako.
matagal na po yung SONA na yan.
Oho.
Napakatagal na. Last year pa, sinabi natin makukulong siya. Wala naman siya nakulong. Ngayon, kailangan patunayan na yan ni BBM at na Ombudsman na itong si Martin Romualdez ay hindi po yan untouchable. Ngayon, si
Yun.
Gutesa, nadagdagan pa ngayon. Akala ni Gutesa nakaisa siya. Ngayon, sakit ng ulo niya. At ngayon, sigurado, pag dinamay siya ng ombudsman sa plunder case, kasama siya makukulong ni Martin Romualdez. Kasi hinog na yung kaso na yan eh. Yan sinasabi ng ombudsman eh. Hinog na yung kaso na yan ni Romualdez. Pinag-aaralan mabuti. Kasi siyempre si Romualdez, maraming abogado, maraming pera, di ba? Kaya matitinik din yung mga depensa niya. Pero sa presinto ka na magpaliwanag, kumbaga. Diba?
Yun.
Kinulong nyo nga si Senator Marcoleta na walang perang ni isang kusing galing sa gobyerno, ginawa niyong plan.
Kaya lang medyo, ewan ko parang sana totoo na kasuhan ito ni Remulla, 'di ba? Ng plunder kasi baka mamaya kwento-kwento lang ni Remulla. Alam mo naman si Remulla, puro yabang lang minsan eh, 'di ba? Sana, abangan natin